stand-in or something, or
And now it says 100% beef.
is it?
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's like the meat that's inside of a Jack in the Box taco. It's half soy.
Yeah.
No?
No, I know. I heard that before. Not real meat.
I still like it. I mean, it's got the weird hot sauce and it's got a slice of American cheese in it.
Nobody hates Jack in the Box tacos.
I wouldn't say I like them, but I don't hate them.
You'd eat them.
Yeah, especially when they're free for various reasons. Go catch this damn Charmander.
So hello and welcome to another episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Hey.
and Brian Pacifume.
Hello.
We're a week and a half away from Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. So we're going to do our Comic-Con episode. This should drop 1 week before preview night, or at the very worst, 5 or 6 nights before preview night. I don't know 100% yet.
This is the only Comic-Con that matters.
This one, yeah. Well, we've never been to New York Comic-Con, so we can't really judge it. Those are two biggest. Long Beach was fun. Obviously, it's not anything compared to San Diego, but it still was fun.
Interesting, yeah.
I've been going since 1996. Brian's been going since...
Consistently since, 2007 with everyone. But before that, I went a couple times when I was younger, when I was 10 in the early 90s.
Okay. So that's... What would you say you've gone to 10?
10, 12 years.
Corey?
I think this will be my 9th or 10th.
So collectively, we have 35 to 40 San Diego Comic-Cons attended. So we just want to talk about things that we've done, traditions we have, experiences we've had, and just different, I won't want to say tips and tricks. There's plenty of places to go online. The unofficial San Diego Comic-Con guide and a lot of different con places you can go for tips. But just talk about the different things that we've done and we've had. So where do you guys want to start?
That's about it.
Okay.
Well, let's wrap it up.
That was episode 13. We'll see you guys later.
With all our tips.
Right now, the anticipation is high. I mean, once you get down to 2 weeks out, it's like, okay.
Once the banners come up.
Yeah.
And you see the trolleys.
And we all
out.
live, I mean, we're 25 minutes from the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we've already all seen the banners. We've seen the trolleys. Trolleys so far have He-Man on it. Is that one of them?
I haven't seen He-Man.
Son of something. I don't remember. It looked like He-Man. I saw it in passing, but I've seen Exorcist. I've seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've seen Conan. And you see them going through town all over the place because the trolley runs all the way through East Bay, all the way to the border, to all the way to East County and Santee, which is where we're at right now. And so we see those all the time. We've all been downtown and seen the banners that are all Doctor Strange. So the anticipation is high. This is where I start getting really excited. And we're a week and 3 days out from preview night.
Yeah, it comes so quickly.
It does. It comes fast. It seems to come faster and faster every year. Brian's rocking in his seat, smiling.
Excited.
But what do you guys want to start? You want to start with?
We're not even big convention guys in the way. We don't. When's the last year you've been to a panel?
That's what I was going to suggest we talk about.
We can talk about that first.
It's been like 5 years for me. I would say.
The last panel I went to was the first season of Walking Dead. That's the last year I went to panels.
Before the season or after?
Before.
Okay, that was...
So that was, 7 years ago? No, Parker had just been born.
You had
6 years ago.
Yeah, so it was 6 years ago.
Did you see Kevin Smith after that?
I don't think so.
No, I think the year before that we saw him.
So, no, I saw him the year Parker was born because we parked the stroller in the back. So it was when Parker was born. Parker will be 7 in October, so it's been 6 years. Mm-hmm. I went to Walking Dead that year. We went to The Walking Dead, the comic, because that's where we saw Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last year. So we aren't a big group of panel guys.
The last few I went to were just like web shows and online
small rooms.
I
went to Outlander last year with Lacey.
Oh, yeah?
How
long did you have to wait for it?
Was it Hall H? Or was it
Ballroom 20?
Ballroom 20. It was probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and she was all about it. But to me, panels aren't worth the time anymore.
Most of the panels, you're going to waste at least half your day.
Yeah.
And if you want to see like a Game of Thrones panel that's in the afternoon, you're going to wait overnight and have to sit through all the panels in front of it.
Those poor people whose panels are in front of it are going to have only Game of Thrones fans sitting through their panels.
Which, if panels are your thing, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people go just for the panels. They don't care about the floor and stuff.
I've watched way more bootleg panels than actual live panels.
Yeah, and now a lot of that stuff gets
It better be
put
like.
up online.
I so hope, because I'd watch that every night when I go home. I love watching.
The Walking Dead
That
trailer.
kind
Every Comic-Con, Walking Dead has a trailer, and it's immediately available to watch at the booth and online.
Yeah,
right
you
after
see
the
it
panel.
streaming on the booth, and it's
That's
So-
usually
they have the coolest booth
Yeah,
every
they
year.
do.
Well, at least they're up there.
The first year was
Merle
Merle's-
with the being chained up.
yeah.
The wax figure looks just like him.
Yeah.
The second one's Michonne, or her zombies. You put yourself as Michonne.
What was the one where they had the guy sitting in the chair that said "God forgive us" and his head was blown off? That was one too, wasn't it?
Oh,
That was the
sounds
first
familiar.
year.
That couldn't have been the first year.
I think was Merle the second year because they were both in the first season.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then last year they had the spinning window thing,
yeah,
and then you walked through the trailer with all the. Did you walk through it?
no.
So you had to walk through the glass things, and
I don't know.
there's at the booth there's live people as zombies,
yeah.
and then you
always.
walk up through a trailer, and there's meat hanging in the trailer, and there's zombies, and there are two snapping at you.
Ugh.
The one before that was what was that? Where did all the railroads meet?
Terminus.
Yeah, I'm seeing there's a railroad going to a tunnel. It said
They do have some of the best booths. Wasn't there one with Rick in a tower too?
yeah, it must have been a prison shaped
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I
So
remember that.
they do have excellent booths.
It's cool
for
that they
it,
vary it up because a lot of booths have the same layout every year.
Yeah,
So that's a cool thing to go see the Walking Dead booth.
and the Weta and Lord of the Rings booths always have they've had cave trolls. They've had
Last year's the Warcraft armor. I was like,
Yeah.
that's tight.
they have really good booths too.
Plus Evangeline Lilly's there a lot.
I saw.
You seen it?
A couple times. Her and but what's Sean Astin usually does that prop booth down. In,
Yeah,
like, the
I've seen
A-levels.
him further down before
Mhm.
Yeah.
too.
I've seen Sean Astin. I got him to sign one of my Lord of the Rings posters.
Nice.
I was standing by the cave trolls one year, and the Walking Dead booth was next to it, and I'm watching the trailer for the first time, and I was just standing there, and I get mobbed by people, and all of a sudden Andy Serkis and Elijah Wood are right there next to the cave trolls, so that was kind of cool.
Andy Milonakis?
Andy Milonakis, yeah, I was literally not even. I'm an over exaggerator, but I was literally 3 feet away from him, so that was
Wow.
kind of cool.
Jeez.
But yeah, we're not panel people.
Mm.
To reemphasize that.
I think it's
You're a floor walker.
And when you're a floor walker, you leave yourself open to random encounters, which is kind of cool. I've
Are you
met,
talking Pokemon?
yeah,
not yet.
I've met
Soon.
Bruce Campbell that way. I've met
I almost passed by Stan Lee, but he had about 14 escorts pushing people all the way.
I got to meet Stan Lee that way because I saw a line. I was like, what's this line for? They're like, Stan Lee. He was signing that Comic-Con book.
Mhm.
And I got to meet Stan Lee and Morgan Spurlock that way, which is Stan Lee's one of my
Wasn't
all-time
Parker with
favorite. Yeah,
Yeah, and you remember retelling that story where Stanley was all about Parker.
yeah, he
that
was
was cool.
He cared way more about the kids than he did about the adults, which is how it should be. But I was giddy. I don't get too starstruck, but that was one of them. I was like, oh my god, this is Stan Lee.
You won't see him there this year.
Yeah,
I think he will be there this year. I bet you.
He said his last convention was,
Colorado, wasn't it?
yeah, whenever you told us.
Yeah, but I don't think that convention's been yet.
I thought it was before
thought it
Comic-Con.
did.
Yeah, I thought that's the time you broke the news.
Oh, you know what? That was just a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
because they just had a post on it recently.
I watched a video where he was talking about, like,
Yeah.
he was being interviewed by a lady, or, well, it was a crowd. I can't remember what question made the headlines. Something interesting. I watched like 10 minutes of it, and Stan Lee's awesome. Even though he's 90-something, he's awesome as
Yeah,
shit.
he's still pretty sharp.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite encounter? What's your favorite memory of Comic-Con, Brian?
Like encounter or memory?
What's your
There's a
what's
lot
your
of
favorite
memories.
encounter? What's your favorite memory?
Encounters. They are kind of the random ones. I met Bobby Moynihan of SNL.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, Robert was there. He took the picture. I wanted to meet him upstairs because there's multiple levels of the convention center, and you can go up and get autographs. And we had decided it was, we did one last lap on Sunday, end of the day, just to kind of see if there was anything else we wanted to buy or look into. And as we were walking, we saw him, and I was really happy to meet him. Couple of years ago, I was playing a demo of Arkham Origins, and Sean Merriman came up right behind me and watched me play. He is a giant man, and that was a little intimidating. I'm trying to think of those people I've met directly. I met the Green Ranger a couple of years ago. That was pretty fun. Passed by a lot of stars. Last year, Lacey and I stood outside of the group of people that was walking past with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot and
I saw
Jesse
them.
Eisenberg.
I saw them at the booth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
and Jesse Eisenberg seemed horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just looked like he was not having it. That's a lot of people.
it is. So that was fun. It's and a lot of it's not even just meeting. It's seeing like the Fox signing booth and seeing the cast of or How I Met Your Mother or CSI or just something where we're voice actors of different games and cartoons and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. I don't have anything other specific I think of. Just bypassing random people. I saw Ed Boon one year. That was fun.
Who's that?
He created Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
So
I wouldn't.
You recognize him on sight?
yeah, I saw him. They had just announced Freddy Krueger as a DLC character for Mortal Kombat, and he was walking by the line going into the Indigo Ballroom.
That's cool.
So that was fun. But as far as meetups, that's what I can think of off the top of my head. If I can think of any more, I'll chime in.
Yeah, and like in person, I got Hideo Kojima to sign something, a game case,
That's cool.
back when he worked for Konami, a long time ago.
When he was oppressed.
Is that the year that I played Metal Gear Solid and
We
that
played
little
like a little
tournament?
tournament. I won a gift card, and
Yeah, I had never played before.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all right, I'll play.
that was fun. That's the only time I've done any video game things there, or went to that upper floor that's not really.
Yeah, the mezzanine level.
Yeah, that
It's in between the
you
steel
never spent
pavilion.
any time at
Yeah.
all.
The only time you spend time there is when you're going down the escalator to try to get into the
Yeah.
convention center.
Or if you're a LARPer.
Yeah,
Or,
there's a lot of them.
what's that, Stormtrooper Legion?
The 501st Legion.
Yeah.
They're there, yeah. And they do like the medieval stuff there and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
I used to train when I worked at another gym. I used to train two girls it was a couple and they did LARPing.
Yeah.
So I went and watched them fight and I was like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
They were.
I did that with,
animals.
there was a guy at work, Scott, and Corey remembers him, and I went to see one of their,
Big Scott.
Big Scott,
yeah.
I know Big Scott.
I went
Scott.
to, he doesn't work anymore.
He doesn't.
His
work.
wife makes good money, and he quit. We shouldn't be talking about this on here. I have a lot of favorite memories, and it's not all, like, I'll do encounters first. Robert Kirkman's always fun. He's super nice, and he makes every person that he signs for feel like they're important.
He always seems to talk down to you, though.
Yeah, he kind of teases me. I'm drawing a blank. God, what's his name? And I don't want to say it because you'll tell me right away. Matt Groening, creator of Simpsons. He signed one of my books and he drew Bart in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. He was really nice.
We have to point out some bias. Robert was in a movie about Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah, he was.
By the way, this is a little bit. You should tell people if you're promoting your movie.
So you don't get hit with a lawsuit.
Yeah, you can't be like these CS:GO guys. You got to tell everybody
I read more about those guys.
who's promoting you.
Did you see the
that's-
fake
That's
fake pulled down apology?
I've seen.
He wasn't happy with it, okay, Brian?
Yeah.
So I've seen everything, but that's a whole nother
Animal.
thing. But you should say you're in a movie. How many movies are you in?
I'm in the Comic-Con movie with
Mhm.
Parker, dressed as Yoda.
You're Yoda.
He's Yoda.
You're Leia.
I'm his dad, Yoda's dad. Uh, and I was in the 10-year Walking Dead anniversary documentary.
I didn't see that one. Do you have any lines?
I do have lines.
What were your lines?
It was just
I don't know. I don't know about this. What was
I've
your
never
line?
seen
You were
this.
there, weren't
Was
you?
I? What?
I've
I
never
don't
seen
remember.
this one. I've only seen the first movie.
You know what? We're gonna pause this for a second,
And
and we're gonna watch it, and then we'll come back.
This is
Okay,
gonna be
we'll be
great.
back in just a minute.
That was genius. That was good.
And
acting.
so we just watched it, and now they're making fun of me.
I haven't seen better acting on a human.
It's literally me talking about wanting to get a tattoo and talking to Charlie Adlard about getting one, and him drawing me and getting it done.
We had like a 5-second slow-mo pan down of Robert's tattoo. It was glorious.
From his pearly blue eyes down to his tattoo, it was
Did
glorious.
they tell you to look at the camera and don't move?
Every pose was exactly what they told me to do.
Oh god.
They made me like move my arm.
You're like
and-
Zoolander.
Yeah, like get blue steel.
You know the definition of model is a misshapen ball of clay. Try to
But
think about that every time you get in front of the camera.
I'm not gonna lie, I was excited to be in that. That's one of my big things.
Your tattoo has gotten you in 2 movies.
2 movies. I still
God.
don't have my SAG card. Fuckers.
You gotta be thinking of that tattoo artist. You're famous now.
But back to panels, and Brian reminded me of this. The last time I waited in line for a panel before The Walking Dead was Spider-Man 3,
2007.
which we didn't get into
No, it was in 2006 because it was the year before.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Good thing you didn't go to that panel.
We waited in line. We got stopped like 12 people from the door.
That movie sucked anyway.
It doesn't matter. It was the first time you got to see Venom.
Yeah, and if you haven't
It'll
seen
be the
that
last
trailer, the Venom at the end of that trailer is different than the one they put in the movie, and it looked and sounded way better. It was
it
only 2 seconds. But
Was it the
awesome.
leap when he turned into at the bottom of the bell
It was
tower?
the leap, but it wasn't It wasn't Topher Grace. It was the sound and the way Venom looked was different than the end result.
So they fucked it up.
Yes.
But a guy cut us in line, and I told the security, which is elite security, and they wouldn't do anything about it. And the guy was just smirking at me. So I grabbed him, and I picked him up off the ground, and I held him there, and I put him behind me, and I let all of us pass, and then I let him go.
and he didn't do
You never
a
heard this
damn
story?
thing about it.
I don't remember the story.
Yeah,
You
I
get
picked
into-
this guy up off the
You get
ground.
into a lot of altercations.
Like when?
Like last year at the Funko dinner.
Like other than this, which me is pushing somebody out of line, and the Funko dinner,
yeah.
which is one of the most violent places. I didn't even get tickets this year. I'm still sad.
You should just tell that story. That's a good Comic-Con story.
Okay, so we're at Funko Fun Days, which they have the worst distribution process of anything. Period.
Wait, are you being paid by Funko right now?
No.
Okay.
Okay, the Funko booth and the Funko party. I don't know if you know this. You've been by the Funko booth. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason. Now it's through the sales pavilion. You have to go in the morning, and it's random, and you get a wristband to get if you get to go in or not.
Better than nothing.
Which is better than people just standing around their booth all day.
Mhm.
Side note, I met Brian Fuller, who was the showrunner of Hannibal, at the Funko booth, and he was awesome. But back to Fun Days.
Did you give him your condolences?
No, it hadn't been canceled at that point.
Yeah, right.
Sad. Well, it might have been. Anyways, so I'm at Funko, and Funko's distribution of prizes at their Fun Days are, we're just going to throw shit out into the crowd. So they throw stuff out in the crowd, multiple people getting into altercations. One girl got trampled, a young girl.
She came out on top though. She
Yeah,
got like
she did.
every exclusive
Yeah,
Funko
and then
they
there
could
was
get.
that mom that was sitting at the table next to us that was screaming at her kid to get up there to get FaceTime so he could get exclusive.
Oh my gosh.
She was terrible.
I hated that woman.
Yeah.
A lot.
So, something gets thrown out, and I pick it up off the ground. And somebody tries to take it out of my hands, and I was like, no, guy, I got it. He's like, no, it's mine. So, I try to take it out of his hands after he tried to take it out of my hands. Full disclosure, 100% honest, this was entirely in my hands. I had it in my hands. It was going to turn. So, we both fall onto the ground, and he's pushing me on the ground. So, I get up, I pick him up off the ground, I slam him into the ground, and I'm trying to take it, and I pull my fist back to punch him, and somebody's like, stop. So I stop, and I let go, and and he runs off with the thing, before I ripped the box off the product entirely. But I'm like, I'm not a violent person, I'm not really that aggressive, but I was ready to beat somebody's ass that night.
All that for a My Little Pony pop figure.
It could have been. I couldn't tell you what the figure was.
It was probably one of the Funko is Thor, something like that.
It was one of the smaller boxes, so
Oh, okay.
it wasn't one of
the big
the
one.
bigger ones that we
Yeah.
got.
Didn't you have to pull some people off a girl too? Was that the same time? Your wife did or something?
Katrina was helping the girl that got trampled. So
And Brian
Fun
was
Days
just
is-
hanging out.
I didn't see any of this happening. I was too busy snatching a Freddy as the Hulk figure out of the
right after that. I was so heated. Like when I get mad like that, I'm like shaking.
That's a rule with you. Is if you get frustrated, the rule is to leave you alone for
Yes,
like 5 minutes.
that's a good. But right after that, they threw out Freddy Funko as Thor, and it bounced off of somebody, and I caught it. So I was.
Was it Thor or Iron Man?
I think it was Thor. No, maybe it was Iron
I
Man.
think it was Iron Man that you got.
So I have one of those, which I didn't sell. I sell a lot of the stuff that I get. I kept that. You know, when I was younger, going to the con, I would see all these guys buying all these exclusives, and it would piss me off because I knew they were just going to resell them. And now, that's part of what I do. I'm one of those dicks that buys and resells all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You beat people up. You
Yeah,
take stuff
I
from
beat
their
people up.
hands. You
Trample
take
girls.
You take people out of line in front of you. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not the kind of person they want at Comic-Con.
No.
Some of my best memories of the convention are just hanging out at lunches and stuff when we've all gone out and gone to eat and stuff like that, or we're just walking around together. I've spent a lot more time with Corey the last couple of years because the kids are in the room sometimes when I'm not with them, and so I've walked around a lot more than with him, except when he wants to
There's a lot of stuff
go hose
outside
before
the convention.
bros and hang out with girls, and tell me that he's not even there, even though I saw him there walking around with a girl instead of hanging out with his friends. That's fine.
Is it the girl that you abhor, or
Yeah.
okay?
I wasn't even.
He wasn't
Recently,
there. I wasn't
but-
there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff outside the convention anyway. Like,
See,
what
that's
you waited
another-
on for Disney last year. How big was that line?
What, the Disney Infinity?
Yeah.
I waited for like an hour and a half in that line. And I got in, and they were giving free figures to people that had taken their pictures and stuff. And I hadn't taken pictures, and I wanted the figure. And we had to leave to go to the Walking Dead run. And Parker was like crying. He wanted the figure so bad, so I waited in the stupid line. But he got what he wanted, and he was happy, and that's the most important thing.
And you made the run.
We made the run. I also
All
did
15 minutes of it.
Yeah, year before that, I waited in line for the Assassin's Creed ship that was behind the convention center. That was cool. Parker wanted to do that. It's become a different experience with kids.
Wait. Because he can't. Not the like. What did they do with the ship? Did you just play the game? 'Cause
walk,
he can't jump off.
No, you walk on the real boat.
You walk on the real boat.
Remember-
Yeah.
Oh, in the boat. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the
For
obstacle course.
Black Flag.
No.
What about the time that you took him behind there and there was the topless models on the yacht?
Yeah, that was an experience. Did you ever know about this?
No.
There was like you know how they have like the TV guide parties and stuff on the yachts outside?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was somebody doing a photo shoot, and there was just topless models just taking pictures on top of a boat.
And they weren't sworn by nerds?
No, well, they were behind the gate. They were on the boats.
Yeah, but so were a bunch of nerds just standing at the gate?
Yes, there was a bunch of nerds just standing at the gate.
That's funny.
Bunch of nerds, bunch of regular people, bunch of everybody just standing watching topless girls get their picture taken.
That's hilarious.
Did your 4-year-old son see?
He would have been 5 at the time. Well, no.
I don't know. You're
2 years ago.
five-ish.
He would have been
Let's round to
almost
5.
almost 6.
Did you have to explain the birds and the double C's?
No, he well spoken. But we had a lot of fun, man. I lost my train of thought.
That'll happen
Yeah.
when you recall that memory.
This is the first time Katrina and I are going on preview night without the kids. It'll be the first time in almost 7 years that Katrina has
Free?
gotten to go on the floor without kids.
Finally, yeah. I told you, just leave them on the trolley. They'll come back.
And I don't
It circles back.
Just catch the blue line.
and
like
I
20 minutes
don't
later.
have to try for the Funko booth. I don't have to try for the Hasbro booth. We're gonna try to get Marvel stuff right away because they have Scotty Young pins.
You're not even going to try for Conan.
I didn't get any Conan tickets. I'm so disappointed.
And
I
Conan's
put
your
tic-
favorite.
I almost last night was going to tell you that I got some, but I felt that would be kind of cool.
I would have been ecstatic and then heartbroken.
Yeah, I decided
Because
against
I put in tickets. I put in tickets through Katrina and for me, different days, varying from 2 tickets to 4 tickets, hoping that different
Try to fill a
numbers
gap.
would, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. So I put me and Katrina down. I put me, Katrina, Corey down. I put all 4 of us down, and nothing.
Yeah.
But some people have been notified as late as the night before at 10 o'clock. So there's still a chance.
Team Coco.
I don't have anybody to go wait and stand by with, and so I'm not going to do that. But what's your guys' thoughts on exclusives?
I never get any.
The
so-
amount that I buy slowly starts to deteriorate year after year. I buy less and less exclusives as the year goes on.
Yeah, I'm not a
the
reseller,
years go
so
on.
unless it's something I really think is cool, the last exclusive I bought, it's something I didn't like use, but it was a BioShock 2 figure. I was like, well, I'm playing BioShock, my favorite game ever, so
I almost got in a fight at the Hasbro booth too. I just thought of that too.
another fight.
Well, on preview night, I got in early one year, and preview night's the only night at Hasbro that you don't have to have a ticket. So all the vendors, even though vendors aren't allowed to buy, all the vendors have different passes that they'll put on, and they'll swarm the Hasbro booth. And I just happened to be by the Hasbro booth at that time, so I ran in, and I got in my arm against the wall, and this big guy, and I recognize him every year. There's 2 people that I despise that I see every year at Comic-Con.
Corey and the big guy.
Corey and the big guy. And I see him every year, and he kept pushing me. That time, finally, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This isn't worth the amount of stress and getting angry and getting into an altercation, so I just left. But I'm not huge on exclusives. I used to always buy something at Funko before their line got out of control. I would buy one thing from there every year just because I like the products.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I do my Skybound stuff, and that's it. And
Which is pretty easy to get. I
Yeah.
mean, you can get that stuff on Friday, Saturday, too.
yeah.
Is that
So-
where you came up on something last year?
What do you mean?
You came up on a huge.
That was
figure.
Hasbro.
That was Hasbro.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. They messed up.
they messed up, and this is
You purchased one of everything, right?
yes. I purchased one of everything
For resale or for keeps.
for resale
But-
for keep. Some of it I did keep.
By the end of it, when you're walking out,
And what they do is they count the products in your bag and compare them to what you have on your
List.
on the screen.
Okay.
So I didn't buy one of everything. There's certain things I don't
well,
buy.
whatever.
But
you
they
know.
but they counted everything, and they're like, oh, I accidentally put one extra of these, and then they took it off. But what they did is they forgot to count one product, and the one product was the $185 Transformer toy. So I didn't notice it till, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours later.
Years later.
A couple hours later, and there's no way to get back in the Hasbro line. Not that, I mean, they messed up, not me. And I did resell that, but I gave it to somebody for the exact price that I would have paid for it.
Yeah. Now, you don't do that for a lot of things, like the Lego little action figures you get.
Oh, man.
Those are
God.
free, and they sell for a ton.
Yeah. How much did you make off that last year?
I got 3 of them, and I think I sold each one for an average of $150.
I think I remember convincing you one time to sell one to
For
somebody.
$40?
Somebody, right after he got some free one, they're like, I'll give you $40 for that. I was like, yeah, sure, why not, Robert? You're not going to
Yeah,
flip it.
and then it was like the $300 figure.
Yeah.
And you actually sold it for
It
40?
was probably Shazam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Cash, right outside the line.
Somebody offered me 20. I was like, no, I'm gonna give it to my kid. And the next guy offered me 40. I was like, 40?
Yeah.
All right.
You could buy a lot of toys for $40
Yeah.
rather than one Lego figure. So
But,
You have to be pretty timely on some of these figures to just
Yeah.
get them sold.
yeah.
Get
Really,
heat of the moment, get them
Because
on.
the price goes down.
You guys sell them at the con, like in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought a bunch of Mattel stuff this year, and it's not selling at all. Like, I'm way under, but that's the risk you run. And as a shady fucking reseller of Comic-Con toys, you have to take that risk.
that's a whole side that most people don't get it. I don't buy anything to resell.
Yeah, I do, but it's like
A lot of people do.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of
but
people do.
Most people go to buy for their collection.
All the Skybound stuff I buy for my own collection. This year I'm buying the Compendium, the Negan figures, and they have a Negan Kills Everything.
You still got a Lucille?
I have both my Lucille's from last year.
Isn't there a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one that's a full-size replica.
Wow.
It's like, I think it's a wiffle ball bat though,
But it's a bat.
but it's a bat.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's $40.
Same price as the mini?
Yeah, pretty much. It might have been 60. I don't remember. But
Didn't you buy one of those Invincible figures last year?
yeah,
You got the regular one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, me too. Those was cool. It was like $40. It was a
Yeah.
little squat.
I
That
do.
with the black
Mark
and white
Grayson.
was rare.
Yeah, there was a blue one. I think a blue and something.
Yeah,
That was
my biggest
very-
disappointment this year is, I didn't get Fun Days tickets and I didn't get Conan tickets, and that sucks. But they're inviting new people to the Skybound retailer breakfast this year, and I don't get to go. That's my biggest disappointment because they're my favorite part about Comic-Con.
The breakfast or the whole thing?
Skybound in general is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
It's Invincible. It's Walking Dead. I love Manifest Destiny. I really like Birthright, and they have the guys from Skybound there. Robert Kirkman talks. He does a presentation on what's coming up for the stuff. I love Red Flags. I like Super Fight. I like the stuff that they put out, and I don't get to go this year, and it was a huge disappointment.
Is Red Flags the game we played that
Yeah.
one time? And Super Fight is the other game?
Red Flags has a new box coming out that's nerdy Red Flags, so we'll play that
Okay.
at some point.
Is
That'd
it
be
going to be available at Comic-Con?
Yeah, and I'll buy it.
We should buy it and then play it sometime there.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be
not
fun.
there, but like on one of the nights since we have nothing to do at night anymore.
I want to do a podcast on the balcony because we're gonna have a balcony at the Marriott.
Okay.
Oh,
That'd
God. We're all going to die.
be fun.
One by
But,
one.
but Skybound is the only place left that I go to buy exclusives for myself. And like you said, they're not that hard to get.
No.
There's a Manifest Destiny, an Outcast, and a Birthright cover that's going to have Negan like killing the main character on the cover of that comic.
Mhm.
So I'm going to buy a couple sets of those. Hopefully get some of them signed and slabbed. But
Is that the
CGC,
term?
yeah,
Slab?
they slab them because it's I'm doing a rectangle with my fingers.
I wish the opposite end, they would have more video game exclusives at Comic Con. Lately, I mean, since he moved down to that end, I don't remember video games used to be on the other end.
Yeah,
But now he does not really. Everybody's already seen.
yeah.
Video games aren't big at Comic Con quite like. I mean,
Well, should they really be?
it'd be cool. And I'm into that. I'd rather hang out there than the movie site.
Yeah, me too. But I am now. I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually goes there for the comic side and not.
So you're right in the middle. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I walk by. I do the Lego booth a lot because of the kids, but luckily the Lego booth is right next to the Skybound booth. This year, Ryan Otley, the artist for Invincible, is going to be back, so I'm going to try to get a commission piece done from him. And yeah, it's fun. I mean,
we can talk about the Walking Dead run.
we did that for. It's got to be more than 4 years.
I think I did 3, so I think you must have done 4.
So we did that for 4 years. They're not having it this year, so we're not doing that either.
It
The
was
first two were great. The third one was very theatrical, and the fourth one blew.
I thought the fourth one was theatrical.
I think the third one was theatrical. That was where the guy was yelling the whole time, and then the fourth one was just.
The second one was my favorite one by far.
That's the one where
They were all in
Where
Petco.
You were going and then
and they turned back and we had to run up the stairs,
Yeah.
so they winded the shit out of you at the beginning.
That was the last one, wasn't it?
That was the second one.
That was the second one. That was the first one you did. You're about to run forward, and all the zombies come up, and you go
Yeah.
through the stairs and run up the stairs.
I remember these situations. I remember, okay, the end of the first one I did, so this was 3 years ago. They checked you to see if you got bit,
Mm-hmm.
anything.
And then they killed everyone.
No, this one they actually cleared
Oh,
you or
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
clear
yeah.
you. So they say if you were infected or not. I remember I came out.
I came out infected, even though I didn't get touched the entire fucking time.
Yeah, because that one had more like low crawling under stuff and
Yeah.
The cars.
a bit of that. Yeah, you had to jump over cars.
Brian jumped over a car.
That
Then
was fun.
2 years ago was at the end where they killed the whole crowd. They tried saying, oh, everyone's infected.
And this one you had to pick. This year was Negan, and you had to pick sides, right?
Who did you pick sides with?
You could either pick sides with
Yeah,
Negan
you're
or
right.
leave.
I don't remember exactly
remember
how the
that.
whole thing ended.
That was how it ended.
And you just get to leave.
Well, it didn't go on after that. That was the very end.
I remember the guys corralling us and making us stop and listen to. Some...
That one guy getting beat to death was cool, though.
That was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was-
I couldn't see anything, but there was a guy leading our group and he got beat to death with Lucille
Yeah, it was Lucille.
and the crowd started moving again when he corralled us forward. His body was lying there and he looked all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like
He must have put a mask on over his face. to make
exactly,
it look all
but because
beat
we're in the
in.
back, we couldn't really tell the movie magic a part of it, so it just looked like to us like somebody got beat to death. Like, oh shit. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
After doing last year's was the first year I debated if I was going to do it again.
You still
So
would have done it if it
now-
was there.
I would like more
But now
obstacle
that
course.
the
than-
mistake has been, or the choice has been made by them to not do it, it's just one less thing to worry about. We don't
Yeah.
have to rush over there and then get food and rush back. It just
Yeah.
I'm
you
not-
know. Although after the second one when we went to the Fox Sports Grill, like that whole night was really fun.
Yeah.
The second one they introduced people asking, begging you for support. Like you walk through, like please, don't. They had like a fake
Yeah, there was a camp.
refugees,
Yeah, the camp was cool.
but they also had a bigger crowd. I think in the second one, didn't they have like a swarm of
Yeah.
all over the place?
Yeah.
That was cool.
I forgot in the camp one, the girl asked me if I wanted to fuck her.
And you're like, well, let's go.
I was like,
This
I need an adult.
yeah, I need an adult. But I mean, I like that they added that kind of stuff. People asking to have sex with you. No, like there was a soldier. There was a soldier trying to hold a gate closed, and I pushed Ricky into the zombie trying to reach through the fence.
Yeah.
Remember the drunk girl?
Yeah,
And she was
first
just
year?
belligerent.
the first year we did it, it was me, him, and Eric, and there was this drunk chick, and she's like, "Let me take a picture with you guys."
You've seen people eat shit too.
Margarita threw up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss not having anything to do at night. Like I have nothing going on.
Well, we gotta. I was
Go.
just tired, but we gotta instead of the zombie run, we gotta do more escape rooms, which we didn't talk about.
There's escape rooms downtown. Like that
I
we can
I
go
was
to.
I was thinking about suggesting that for a night thing
So
for
yeah,
Comic-Con.
for Robert's birthday, we did an
But-
escape room.
We were looking at one, and there's one where a scientist gets bitten. He turns in his lab, and he's chained up. But you have to have a group of 10 to 12 people. And
That's
if
a little bit too
you
much.
if you don't fill it up, they pair you with other people.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I
yeah.
want to do that.
No.
I like a solid group of 4 or 5, maybe 6.
I'm totally down to go do another escape room.
That's gonna be instead of zombie run. That's what we gotta do. That was so much fun being locked in a room having to escape. That's
We should do the 3 of us and Travis and do the one in San Marcos, and we'll meet them in the middle.
Is that another House of Hints?
Yes,
Or
another House of Hints.
Do they have? And they have different rooms there.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have 3 different rooms there.
yeah, we totally gotta.
Where's the
do
one that you said about the serial killer?
I can't remember where it was,
Ah.
but there's one. Did I tell you about that one? I was telling you about it, right?
The Japanese.
Yeah,
serial
it's a
killer?
Japanese serial killer in his
We
apartment.
should find one for Friday night or something.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We can do something like that. I mean,
I don't know what day you don't have your kids, but
well, I can have a sitter Friday night and Saturday night. Because I think Emma was already volunteered for Saturday. My cousin, I just found out, has tickets for Saturday, so I could get him to come Friday night and watch the kids on Friday night. So we could do something like that. We definitely have to go out. Comic-Con downtown, I mean, it takes over downtown San Diego. So there's
yeah.
so many different things to do. I mean, at the very least, we should all go out and get dinner and just hang out and soak up the atmosphere at night, regardless if we do anything specific. Because
Go to one of those restaurants that we don't really have time for lunch.
Yeah.
And go sit down for an
Yeah.
hour and a half and just hang out.
And I mean, because soaking up the atmosphere and just being part of the energy that is downtown is part of the fun. I mean, if you take all the time to just do panels and just hustle and just try to make everything, just it's better to wing it relax, and just go wherever anything takes you. And it's way more fun to experience Comic-Con that way than to force yourself to try to do everything, because you're not going to be able to.
No, even doing 4.5 days of floor walking, you don't see everything.
No, and hanging out with if you're going by yourself, it's way easier to get around.
Yeah,
Because you're just in and out, in and out.
so you don't
in and
have a
out.
slow
You don't
person
have to,
like me behind
You
you.
don't have Brian that's 3 hours behind you waiting.
Yeah.
But
I move slowly.
But
I'm excited now having to wait in line to buy a ticket.
yeah, oh, you have to go to the Marriott to pick up a ticket.
I do. Can I do that on preview night?
Yeah, it's a preview night. I mean, you better. I just farted. Did you look at the? Did I give you the paperwork, or do I
No.
have the paperwork?
You have it.
Okay. Well, I'll see when they have the pickup times. But it has a preview night attached to it, so I'm sure you can take that.
Yeah. Well, I'm off that day, so we can.
But hanging out with your friends at restaurants and stuff, taking a break and talking about the things that you guys have done that day is part of the fun.
Showing off all the fun stuff you buy and the people you've met,
Are you worried about
the Pokemon you've caught.
Yeah. Are you worried about fatalities?
You mean like people trying to go see Twilight?
No, like deaf people driving.
Oh.
Well,
So, they
those are
already
two
died.
bad situations that
Did you,
happened
okay,
at
so
Comic-Con.
this is the first year that the zombie walk is back on since that happened. But
That
that
was,
happened
what, 2
3
years
Oh
ago?
God.
Did you hear that there's a T-Rex walk too? Like those T-Rex things?
Oh God. These deaf people.
And the
what are they
T-Rex
gonna
walk
do?
is merging with the zombie walk, and they're going to have a T-Rex zombie walk.
That's something to see.
Right? I kind of want to taking the kids and go see it, but they're zombies. They might get scared.
if you don't have tickets to Comic-Con, just go downtown for an afternoon.
And just
Like,
people
good-
watch.
Yeah,
If
it's,
you live
it's
in San
fantastic.
Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you live in San
not
Diego.
every-
I have we have people that Corey and I work with at, we work in a big box store, and we work at Home Depot, and
Don't say that.
we are like, we're not outcasts, but people are like, oh, these guys are nerds. When's Comic-Con gonna be here? Blah, 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 blah. But Mark, and one of the guys we work with, he is not a nerd at all, and he goes down to Comic-Con every year for the last couple of years just to walk around and people watch, because it is a blast.
A lot of things happening outside of the convention. I got Assassin's Creed every year outside.
You
Yeah.
have big yellow signs saying how everyone is blasphemous
And
and
we're
following,
going to hell.
Oh, God.
and following false gods, and we're going
I
to
don't.
hell.
I didn't even watch that movie. What are they promoting? What movie?
They've been promoting it for a long time.
Yeah, is that a
Is
thing?
it coming
Every-
out yet?
Passion 2?
In all honesty, I hate watching those kids hold those signs up. Like, they're 12 years old, and I just want to be
They're
like,
getting raised in
go in, like, go have fun inside.
Would you rather them be playing video games, dog?
Yes,
No. At
absolutely.
least they're doing something constructive now. They're trying to convert.
The extreme for anything is just a poor choice. I mean,
You extreme nerd. Look
Basically,
at
there's
your
a
arm.
bunch of
Parker, you're gonna like these comic books, or you're not going outside.
There's a lot of people outside that hold up signs with religious beliefs that they're not pushy at all. It's a little bit of an annoyance.
Yeah,
I think.
at every big convention, like maybe
there-
one. Anaheim had one.
Yeah.
There's always people that go to Comic-Con that try to start like arguments and conversations.
They just need to leave them alone.
Not
yeah,
worth
just
it.
don't
Yeah.
even pay attention to them.
You guys have any restaurant recommendations for people listening? Because I mean, there's all the regular restaurants, but Werewolf is we're from here, so I mean, there might be something that somebody listens to on this that goes, oh man, I should try that place. Werewolf, which is one of my favorite places downtown, which is on 4th, I believe. If anybody is listening to this, I know there's like 5 people. If anybody's listening to this, you have to try Werewolf. The staff is awesome, and the food is incredible, and they go all out, and they'll be doing shit for Comic-Con too.
Have I been there with you?
I don't know.
Did we go there when we had our big night?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
fell asleep at the last place.
Okay, I knew what you're talking about then.
I like the Spaghetti Factory. That's kind of an odd one.
Yeah, Dick's Last Resort
we
is always
used-
fun
we
to go
used
to
to go
because you
there
can sit outside.
Every Sunday.
And you didn't show up the last time that we went. You were
Never
like,
stopped doing
no.
it.
Showed up in the last.
It's been 2 years.
We didn't
since
go
I've
to
been
the last 2 years. And the year
Yeah.
before that, you're like, I'm already home.
One year we went beforehand. We went on preview night, didn't we?
I don't remember.
I thought we went for lunch instead of the end day.
We're gonna go down. I want to drive down at like 3:30, 4 o'clock this year.
On Wednesday?
Yeah. It doesn't open till what, 6?
Yeah, I think.
Well, I think the floor usually opens. It opens at quote unquote 6 o'clock, but the floor usually opens at 5:30.
If you're on the back
Yeah.
line.
They let us in a little early.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to get into that line this year.
Oh, yeah, I'll manage.
Lacey for sure won't be able to. She's got a regular attendee badge. That's a pro line. It doesn't matter.
For other restaurants, I like the Field.
I like it. You know that Impractical Jokers are taking over Dick's Last Resort on Saturday. That's kind of cool. And
Yeah.
or no, on Friday, and then on Saturday they're having a block party
At
somewhere else.
oh, okay.
I think it's over by the the stadium. I thought we'd have enough stuff to fill up an entire podcast. You guys are already kind of dying here.
I'm trying to think of something specific. We talked about
Here you go.
we could do like tips and tricks. We could say do's and don'ts, like that are more in depth than, pick your panels.
Do put on deodorant. Don't smell like shit.
There are so many people that just completely disregard personal hygiene the entire time that they're there.
And when you get to the main aisles, especially when there's some celebrity nearby you, like I came 20 feet from the whole Game of Thrones crowd, signing shit, and you
Everybody
literally
stopped.
are shoulder to shoulder, ass to dick. Everybody's pushed up.
Nuts.
Yeah. And there's no moving, and they're like, oh, motherfucker, I'm stuck here for like 20 minutes. And
Yeah, it sucks. They really need to. I know that some people wouldn't adhere to the rules, but they really need to attempt to have arrows saying traffic goes this way on this aisle, traffic goes this way.
We have
on
a couple
this aisle.
loud people a lot of times that try,
Yeah.
keep it moving.
This is the first year that they're having the radio frequency chips. I'm really wondering to see how that's going to work.
The what?
There's radio frequency chips inside of your badge this year, and you have to tap in and tap out.
Oh.
And if you don't tap out, you can't tap back in. You have to go get ID'd.
They're
just to go
hurting
back in.
us like
Oh,
cattle.
wow.
Well, they did it at WonderCon, and it seemed to work fine, but this is a lot bigger than WonderCon.
Yeah, it is. It's very large.
So we'll see how that works with the... It worked fine when I was at WonderCon. There's big signs that say tap here, and they're big freaking...
When are they going to get metal detectors?
I'm surprised they don't. I mean, with a crowd that big and the way the world is now, I've seen on other Comic-Con pages on Facebook where people are afraid, hoping that they have extra security there and stuff.
Yeah.
Because...
After everything that's happened this last year,
Yeah.
at least.
Well, I mean, because you can get into the main lobby without almost anything. If you have just a badge, you can just walk in, and they don't even check weapons.
Not till you
quote
get
weapons
inside the
until
lobby.
you get in the lobby.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a little.
close
It
enough.
seems a little dicey.
I mean, and then there's that's not even taking into account just walking down the street there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
walking
You
on
could
the
dress like an army.
sidewalk
Like
outside.
there are whole groups of guys dressed in like SWAT gear, basically, or army gear, and that's their theme. So they all have airsoft rifles, and they look real enough. Can you imagine if some terrorists were smart enough to, or some crazies, dress up like that, get inside Comic-Con, or
It'd
get...
be terrible. I don't even want to talk about that kind of stuff. That's just, I mean, you can't live your life in fear. That's what I said on the Facebook post. I was like, you can't not do something because you're afraid. That's just not a way to live your life.
That's the goal of whoever's doing the bad things. So, anyway, have fun
Yeah.
when you're there. That's about it.
Yeah, now after
Somebody
we just
gets on
brought down
Hall
the
H
whole...
and shoots Robert Downey Jr. What would happen?
I wasn't there, but one of my favorite things I've ever seen, Comic-Con wise, is Robert Downey Jr. dancing down the main,
Well, he came
the
out.
walkway when he came out.
What about when what's his name revealed he was Peter Parker asking the question?
That's pretty cool too. There's been
was
some.
a really good one.
We were there when the guy proposed to his girlfriend at the Kevin Smith panel.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then on one of the new movies they covered out.
He made it in the same movie that I was in.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston. walked
Your
around in
co-star.
that Heisenberg mask all day.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
good one.
That's cool. I know that Macy Williams has walked around, I think, dressed up.
I know these celebrity encounters. Did you say Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
saw
I
him.
didn't. I said we saw him in the booth. Apparently, when we got out of the panel for the Walking Dead comic, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost had walked out before us, and Katrina, my wife, was there with Parker, who was then. He was born in October. He was less than a year old.
Yeah.
And I was super excited to come out and tell her that I said, "Hey, we saw Simon Pegg in there." She's like, "No." She's like, Simon Pegg came up and tried to play with Parker, like, because he has a kid apparently that's similar in age, and he was missing his kid, and he asked if he could play with her baby. I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool. So that was Parker's first Comic-Con experience. He got his hair tousled by Simon Pegg.
And you didn't get on video.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
My biggest regret from Comic-Con, besides not getting to go to the Skybound Breakfast this year, is that James... I don't know if you were there. I don't think you were there. But James, Katrina, and I were sitting in line. We used to sit for hours and hours and hours waiting to get into the floor. Sitting and waiting in line, and I'm going through the programming thing. And I see Shaun of the Dead. And it says a romantic comedy with zombies. And I'm like,
Oh,
I
God.
was like, Katrina, James, we should go see this. It looked kind of funny. And the whole cast is going to be there. She's like, no. James is like, I'm not interested. And it's Shaun of the Dead. I mean,
It's
I
not gonna
fucking
be
love
big.
that movie.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost was there. Edgar Wright was there. I'm like, motherfucker. I still give a shit.
Ant-Man, Edgar Wright?
Yeah.
Oh.
He directed those movies.
All three of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
the trilogy, the Cornetto trilogy. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The Cornetto
Because
trilogy?
the ice cream.
That's what he said. Links them all. Apparently, there's Cornetto ice cream in every movie. I don't remember. It's like a little joke.
Well, the
they call
first
it
one,
that.
he goes into the
The liquor
convenience store and
Yeah.
gets one. The third one, I want to say there was a cornet in the.
At the end, like
at the end, yeah.
the thing blew up. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
I don't know what the
obvious.
second one. It was probably when they went in the shop to get ice cream in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a cough.
So what about planning and provisions for food, water? Because stuff inside the convention center is kind of expensive, and it takes a lot of
gross.
yeah, it's not very good, and it takes a lot of time to leave the convention center, go get food because a lot of it.
You end up eating a lot of cookies if you're eating food inside,
Yeah,
because there's Mrs. Fields cookies everywhere.
so you can pack backpacks and just make sure that you're bringing food and water so you're not getting dehydrated and because it's hot. It gets really hot.
It's so cold in the morning. They pump that place full of cold
I
air,
love it.
and then like an hour in, it's like a sweat box.
Yeah. Depending
this
on
room.
how hot it is outside, sometimes it's been record.
Have you had any good giveaway stuff, like aside from Funko? Ever won anything that's interesting?
I won either last year or the year before. I won a giant ugly doll. Eric's got the ultimate one. He won a Simpsons art print that was framed, and we were leaving on Sunday. This was before I went with Katrina, and somebody called him back, and he won this big framed thing.
Last year?
Yeah.
No, this was like
Years and years
probably
ago.
like 9 years ago.
What about when Katrina won the Happy Tree Friends stuff?
She won a Happy Tree Friends costume contest because she dressed it up as Handy, who doesn't have hands, and Katrina's missing a hand, and the creator thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So she won a costume contest.
Morosely hilarious.
Have you won anything, Corey?
No.
Gotten anything free?
Free shirts, doodads like that.
I got a bunch of free gold. What are the little things? Creepers in Minecraft?
Yeah.
I got a bunch of those last year.
Didn't I give your kid one of those?
Yeah. And then I got more. And then I sold them for $15 a piece on eBay.
You piece of shit.
Sorry. I gotta pay for a 10-year anniversary this year, man. I'm trying to make as much money as possible.
Have you thought yet about that comic book?
What comic book?
The one you're thinking about
Uh,
parting with?
Yeah, I have 2 original Walking Dead comic pieces. I think I'm more willing to part with one of those than I am issue 100. I have a Walking Dead number 100 that they only made 250 of that has Lucille on the cover. And they only made 250, and the last one sold for $2,500, and I bought it for $250. So it's a big.
What are the pieces?
The pieces are just 2 pages from issue 6 or 7, I think it is. No, it can't be 6 or 7 because Adlard started coming on in issue 6. Well, I guess it could be. I can't remember exactly which one it is. I think it is 6 and 7 because Tony Moore, I think, did the first 5. But one of them's Rick on a motorcycle, and it's a huge page. I don't think I can part with that one, but the other one I could, maybe. God, I don't want to, but I gotta pay for this anniversary, man. It's gonna be like. Luckily, we have enough money for 3 out of our 4 tickets through Southwest, so I don't have to pay for those. My dad said he's gonna pay for our amusement park tickets. So, amusement park. I'm so used to saying amusement park instead of Disneyland because anytime I say Disneyland park, I was like, I want to go to Disneyland. So I say amusement park. But we're going to Disney World, and so he's gonna pay for those tickets. So all we gotta pay for is souvenirs, food, but we're going to Vegas in September.
Mm-hmm.
The following weekend is I have to get this. I have a tattoo appointment the following Saturday. That's the same Saturday as Long Beach Convention. So I have to decide if I'm doing Long Beach and if I'm moving the tattoo appointment.
Is that the leg tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't decided where I'm getting it. 100%.
Face.
Yeah, I'm going Tyson. So I have, if I move the tattoo appointment, it would be Vegas, Long Beach, tattoo, nothing, Disney World.
That's a lot.
That's in like 6 weeks. Not 6 weeks from today, but in a 6-week period. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta do Vegas though. And I don't want to hear you fucking pussying out. Say,
Wait.
my feet hurt. I
Who,
can't
me?
walk. Yes, you,
It
short
wasn't,
legs.
it wasn't my feet that hurt. It was my thighs because my shit was chafing and it hurt.
It doesn't matter. You're in Vegas. You gotta man up.
I did well. I went last August. I
Woman
did fine.
Okay.
I didn't walk around a lot, but I did okay.
We're gonna walk around a lot because it's his first Vegas trip. We're talking about Vegas on our Comic-Con podcast. We're just we go wherever now. You know what's gonna be awesome at Comic-Con is Pokemon Go.
Yes.
So because MLB Fan Fest is going on at the convention center right now, and I saw a screenshot of the amount of Pokemon that are there, and it's fucking just filled. So there's gonna be a ton of fucking Pokemon, and with the Nintendo Gaming Lounge it's gonna be at the hotel again. There's gonna be Nintendo's gonna just set up shit because they're affiliated. I'm assuming with.
Yeah.
With
That's
a first party game, isn't it?
Did
Pokemon?
Nintendo buy Niactin, the company that did the GPS stuff?
I assume they must have.
I have a feeling they did.
Because if that's the case, there's going to be stuff in the Nintendo Lounge going on. Because this is one of the biggest things out right now.
It's so fun. It was supposed to come out in March. They first announced it. It was saying March, and then
it
took a while, and then Eric got in the beta. Eric and Emma got in the beta, and then I had this guy that Wario64 that I follow on Twitter was saying how it was in Australia. They had launched it, so I'm sitting there waiting for this game to come on, and it's not happening. Eric finally tells me that it's live, and then from then on, I mean, it's everywhere. Some people hate it. Most people really like it. I've seen a couple people on my Facebook feed that are just like, this is so dumb. Hashtag Pokemon go away. But, this is all nostalgia. And it's when you're 12, 15 years old, and now you get to relive that and walk around and catch, and it's so much fun.
Every once in a while, something takes the internet by storm. As right now, it's Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
I had no interest about a week ago, and now because the internet's posting nonstop every site I go to, I'm like, oh well, shit. I can't not be a part of this shit.
Well, it's fun. I mean, I
see the fun
look
in
at
it now.
Things on sports teams, like the Chargers have this
picture,
and it had Pikachu was on their stadium thing, and it was just, or their podium, and different basketball teams and Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
I have 3 Pokestops. Pokestops, and a gym right across the street from me. And when I was doing it, when Brian and I were doing it with Parker before the podcast, there were other people right in front of us doing the exact same thing.
That's cool.
I was at a mall before that, doing a little bit of shopping, and there's people just walking around and stopping and flicking their phones. And
I played it for a minute. At a glance, it'd be cool if they're like, I see other Pokemon trainers walking around, like with the app on the map. Oh, other things or PvP, whatever. What you said, it hasn't came yet, but for being a free program, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures of the screenshots of the map from Balboa Park, things like that, and there's hundreds of people just walking around and catching stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how much money this is making them.
I read that it makes $1.6 million a day.
Holy shit!
Nintendo's has never done mobile games because they own a mobile handheld, gaming device, so they don't do mobile games at all. Which everybody else, cell phones are the biggest market for anything. Obviously Candy Crush fucking makes billions of dollars. They're worth more than LucasArts.
Haven't there been rumors the last couple of years of Nintendo just moving to mobile games and not putting out, or not moving to just mobile, but moving to handheld systems instead of having a console because the consoles aren't selling as well as they used to?
I haven't heard a definitive
just rumors.
It's like Konami saying we're going to make arcade machines and fuck Metal Gear Solid.
I think that's a lot of people wondering that, if the company's struggling like Sega did, and then they just stop making consoles and push out their software, maybe Nintendo does the same thing. But
their
next console comes out in March.
Where would you like to? Because that'd be a bidding war on who gets to put out Mario and Zelda and Smash Brothers and
not Xbox.
No, Sony is Japanese, so I think it's easy.
It would just transition to Sony.
There's so many more PlayStations in Japan rather than Xboxes throughout.
It'd just be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if they'd be smart just to have it like a timed exclusive and put it out everywhere. If that were the case in a few years or whatnot.
I can't imagine playing a Mario game with a DualShock 4.
No, but you get used to it. After a year of that, you'd be like, I can't imagine going back to a Wii.
Yeah.
But these consoles are... I just bought a PlayStation 4, but then as soon as I bought it, oh, well, now the next evolution, the Tier 2 of PlayStation 4 and Xbox and the Wii are going to come out soon. And what's the Wii one called?
The codename is NX, but we don't know what it is.
Is it a brand new console or is it an upgrade of Wii U?
No, it's a new console.
So
that's too soon.
Yeah, it's so soon.
So I don't know what.
Granted, the Nintendo systems are significantly cheaper than
the other ones.
Yeah.
I would get a Wii U if Zelda came out today. I'd buy that console straight today. But Smash Brothers alone with what's the next best game on that system?
On what? Wii U?
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, those two games
and
alone
Wind Waker
aren't system sellers. That one would probably be higher. I love Zelda.
Yeah. Both. Yeah, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess got HD releases,
right.
But we can birdwalk on this a little bit and talk about Breath of the Wild because all three of us were apparently pretty excited to play the Zelda
What
game.
is it?
He's never heard of it.
Breath of
I've
the
never
Wild.
heard of it.
He's not excited.
You just told me you wanted to play it.
What?
Robert hasn't played a Zelda game.
you talking
well, okay.
You were telling me like 2 weeks ago. You're like, bro, I want to play the new Zelda.
No, that wasn't me.
That
'Cause
wasn't
He
me.
would never say that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
It wasn't
Robert would
me.
never say that. He's never played Ocarina of Time, dog.
I thought
Is
you.
that before Majora's Mask? Which one's first?
yeah,
Yeah, I played Ocarina of Time.
yeah, it's like 5 minutes. I know.
Maybe like 3 hours.
I know your whole history. We've talked about it.
I've played maybe like 45 minutes of Majora's Mask and maybe 2 or 3 hours of Ocarina of Time.
I'm aware. I'm just
Not
pushing
big.
the buttons.
Not a
but-
big fan.
No, he's not a Zelda fan at all.
Not really.
You had sent me something about some game, and I have no
I
idea.
know he's playing the,
maybe it
the
was
3DS
maybe
one.
you were talking about the 3DS one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Robert started playing the 3DS one. The,
I like A Link to the Past a
yeah.
lot.
the Super Nintendo one was his favorite.
It's a
Yeah.
good game.
I'm speaking for you. You
Yeah.
defend yourself.
No, it's okay. But Corey was talking to me about how like the fire creates.
Yeah, did you watch like IGN 77 blah 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 cool about Zelda?
No.
Okay, so
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
I usually don't watch their video. Like, I just the player I don't like. Whatever. If I watch that one, and it looks so. I watched the E3 trailers. I read about it. It looks so fucking badass. The fact, when they have like tall grass and you have like a little flame wand, and you can start like a brush fire, like Far Cry-ish, and the fact that makes heat and then like the air rise, and you can use your little cloth to
The
sail
deku,
up,
yeah.
and then do a slow motion bow hit on like an enemy that is only vulnerable from the top. So you have to use that like. I was like. That shit is so creative. That's Nintendo. Just they're so fucking
Good.
at what they do.
It's. Anyway, I could have. I don't know what game you were talking about. It must have been A Link Between Worlds.
That's my number one game I want to come out.
Is Breath of the Wild.
that I've seen that hasn't like you say like the next Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, but nothing's been revealed. Out of all the games that's been revealed that haven't came out,
Okay.
yeah, Zelda my number one.
Over
Everything I don't know. What would you be your number one?
the Final Fantasy VII remake. At least, or Kingdom Hearts 3.
Those would be up there. Now you mentioned that, but
I can't think of anything else super pertinent. Oh no, Last Guardian. I would put above that.
That's never coming out. What are you talking about?
Comes
That's
out
not coming out.
October
it's gonna-
22nd.
it's gonna be at such a deficit when it comes out. Art style amazing, graphics gonna suck balls.
It doesn't matter. I don't
it's-
care about the graphics.
It looks exactly like Shadow of the Colossus to me.
It's
which
tough.
was great.
It is, but that's 10 years ago now.
We just replayed the remastered edition of Last of Us, and it's after playing Uncharted 4, it's hard to play.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at, you get used to it,
Yeah,
but it's just like, oh my god.
the same goes
Yeah.
anytime you go back to an old game.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just-
playing some of the
Although-
old Battlefields now, and it's just choppy and ugly.
Yeah.
The
but
fire that Naughty Dog makes. Okay, the fire when the cabin's burning down in Last of Us is excellent.
Yeah.
The fire in Uncharted 4 is
yeah,
remarkable.
their effects. Just
Yeah, they are incredible.
they're good at what they do.
yeah.
Anyway, so gearing back to Pokemon Go, any big releases? Anything? Or do you think they're going to do any like promotions for giving away things? You think they're going to do like a Mewtwo thing?
I
or
would hope they planned it all out and they have multiple expansions in the works.
Speaking of
But-
video games, and since we already touched on Comic-Con, Brian's the guy that pre-orders all the games at Comic-Con to get all the free shit and then cancels
This is
cancels
true.
his pre-orders.
You were
Yeah.
supposed to do that. You did it with Disney Infinity.
I was going to, and I decided not to because
Oh,
I was
no.
going to give him the games. 'Cause
Well-
it would have been it was financially, you got way more in the one from Comic-Con than you did if I would have bought it outright and then bought the figure. So I was like, I'll just keep it.
Unless you found some deal, but every time, you never know. Target could have had this thing
Down the
started
road,
back.
yes, you're correct.
Yeah. I've only ever pre-ordered. It was a Red Faction Armageddon. I got a T-shirt. I got one there and I got one in the mail.
And how long did you have to wait for the game to come out?
What do you mean? Oh, like before I got it?
Yeah.
That's fine. It was probably backlogged for a few months anyway. I don't remember. That game wasn't very good.
No.
What game was that?
Red
Red Faction
Faction.
Army.
Wasn't
Yeah.
the first Red Faction really
Was
good?
it Armageddon? Gorilla was awesome. Armageddon was kind of.
Wait, no, I don't remember Armageddon. I just remember Gorilla.
Gorilla was so tight.
I remember 1 and 2, and that was one of the first games where you could destroy your environment.
Yeah.
It was the big
Red Faction
the big
1,
thing.
I hold it in super high regard. Red Faction 2, pretty high regard. Gorilla, what's the one of 3? Gorilla great, and Armageddon just kind of sucked. It was all underground.
I
It was
didn't play
underground on Mars, and you fight monsters. Cool physics on some stuff, but How come Red Faction 1 was the only one we could deform the environment, like, not indefinitely, but, like, they all regressed?
But it could change. I mean, it changed the way you play. Couldn't you create pathways for yourself?
Red Faction 1, multiplayer, I played all the time. We just dug tunnels. And we, like, linked tunnels up. And there's no other game ever that I think, except, like, Minecraft, that had that type of that kind of...
No, I can't unless I don't know what they're going to have pre-ordered. I usually do Assassin's Creed and whatever Ubisoft does, but there's no new Assassin's Creed. I've done Watch Dogs. I've done Far Cry.
What do you get for all those?
T-shirts.
That's it.
And then I cancel them on Amazon because I just want T-shirts.
You're fucked up.
I don't pay full price on a lot of games anymore, and those aren't worth $65.
Nope, not Watch Dogs.
Uncharted was.
Yeah.
There's so few games at this point that I buy. Period. So like I don't pay full price for shit because I think Uncharted and Fallout are the last two games I buy when they come out.
What was your number one game coming out that you're excited for that you've actually seen video on?
There aren't any.
There's no new Fallout.
E3, you weren't excited.
That's why it's sad. Like I don't have anything that
so
I'm really excited
Final
for.
Fantasy wouldn't be on your list then?
Final Fantasy VII, I guess, would be on my list, but when's that going to come out? And if it's like you said, if it's an episode game, I'm like.
Someone said someone at GameStop said it was 3 episodes. So assuming they do
that'd be a long episodes then.
And they said that it was that each individual episode, if there's 3 episodes, which was like disc, it would be the length of the original game.
So you're looking at like a 20-hour, isn't it a 60-hour game?
Well, depending on, I mean, you can get through the 3rd disc pretty fast. Probably like 35, 40 hours.
So let's just say it's 30 hours, 10 hours per. That'd be good. I'd be okay with that.
Depending on the price, I'd probably I'd spend a lot on that. I can't wait for that game.
But you couldn't charge $59.99 per disc.
No,
because then you'd have a $180 game.
I would say $30 to $40. I would do that.
I want to see a remaster like this. Like I want Final Fantasy to do so well that it takes off because they're doing Resident Evil 2 the same way. You know, I heard that they're. I don't even call it a remaster. What do you call it? Like
it's a remake. It's a ground up remake.
Like they're remaking Resident Evil 2. Like with, I assume the controls. It better be Resident Evil 4. You know, just imagine over the shoulder Resident Evil 4, but in story for Resident Evil 2.
Can we keep the exact same dialogue though? Relax, I'm a human.
No, that would change. That would go away.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I Resident Evil 1. I hope that's not Chris's blood.
It was terrible.
You almost got made into a Jill sandwich.
It was
sexy.
Barry.
Is that yours, Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 is one I played the least. If they did 3, I would.
Resident Evil 2.
But nobody's gonna do 3. They're gonna maybe make it HD or something. But if those, I would like more of those games to take off. Like if they remakes, like reimaginings, remakes.
Yeah,
that's the thing now with games because that's what they do with movies. Let's remake it.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I would I would take a Red Faction reimagine. You know, just.
You don't have to come up with a brand new idea.
Just make the other one.
Just make it better looking.
So, I don't think Volition's still around.
No, I would want them to do for Final Fantasy 8 and 9 what they did for 7 and port the PC version onto PlayStation 4 with trophies and put those little cheats into it. I'd play those again.
If they didn't have trophies, would you play them?
No.
Well said.
Because there are other experiences I need to get through, even though
I'm playing Left Behind and I'm at that part where you're going back with the medical kit and you have to unlock the cage to go back to get to Joel. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
That's the last fight.
Oh my god.
So there are about 8 guys around.
Oh, and you're in the bottom of the ball.
I have 3 shots with the pistol and like 6 arrows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta be super high-D and creative.
I was really mad.
I saved my clip of how I did it. I fucking barely scraped by.
The last time I died, I killed 3 guys with a knife right away.
Yeah.
And
one on the right, one coming up the stairs.
Yeah, and I killed. And the one guy I didn't see, he ended up killing me. I was like,
Those are the ones that get you because they're like
far
3
away.
off to the left, 2 off to the right, 2 at the door. Yeah. You kind of have to get lucky. But then, did you get past all of them?
I haven't done it yet. No, I stopped.
Oh, well, I understand, spoiler, but once you do, you go to unlock a door and then more guys spawn. So it's double hard.
No, I'm at where the second set of guys spawn.
Oh, did you?
I killed the first set of guys.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, and then it goes from there.
That part was hard. This part is really hard.
Once you get through, that's the end. You watch 10-minute cutscene.
So you don't go back to.
No, you.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I don't remember where'd you leave off in the.
They kissed.
Did you do the photo booth?
No.
What did they kiss?
They kissed while they were dancing on top of the jewelry display. There was music playing.
You did the photo booth then, I thought.
Did I? I don't think so.
Do you sit down in a photo booth and make faces?
No.
I don't think that's part of the story. I think it's like the Watergun fight or one of the other ones where it's just
Oh,
kind of.
did you miss? Did you go on the carousel?
Yeah.
Did you throw the bricks at the?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you missed the photo. You remember when you started the game? It said, "You want
Yeah.
to use Facebook, dog?" And you hit what?
No.
You hit no. It said it's a really unique experience, dog.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna hook it up with Facebook. I don't like
Well,
anything to
the,
Facebook.
The thing is, they find an old, photo booth kind of thing where you pick like a theme.
Uh-huh.
You do that, and you pick either take photos with friends, lovers, or unique. And then depending what you say, you pick. You got your girls comment to each other, and then you take a series of 4 photos that said make a scary face, and you can either hit one of 2 different faces. It shows you the expression in the bottom corner. Like
Okay.
you either do like a pig face, or like Godzilla's coming, takes the photos, and then at the end of it, it says we'd like to upload these to Facebook. And the characters are like, what's Facebook? I don't know. It must be a book of faces. And you upload it to your real Facebook if you wanted. Oh, and then you try to print it, and it jams, and your characters get mad and they break it.
Yeah, I didn't
So
do
that was
that.
completely optional. And that's funny. You missed it. I
Um,
thought that was like the coolest part.
I'm not too heartbroken over it.
Do you mention when you mentioned that you barely scraped by on that final fight? Do you have any victory in a game just off the top of your head that's like something where you were just ecstatic, like if you ground it out and you were super happy it finished?
Well, the only I can think of, because we're talking about this, the first time playing The Last of Us, the end where there's a bunch of guys with assault rifles and you're just trying to get to the medical room to save what's her name?
Yeah.
Ellie. I was so caught up in it, and I stealthed that whole last area in one playthrough, and it was like so coincidental
That's
that
insane.
as soon as I walked in a room, some guy just turned his back, like, oh fuck, walked by super slow, and I remember making it to the end. As soon as you go through a door, Joel does a cutscene where he puts something in front of the door. I'm like, oh fuck, they're after me. I remember thinking like they're probably going to come through, like they're probably going to see me. I didn't know that they probably really couldn't. It was an invisible wall, but I ran through, and then I seen the doctor standing there, and without thinking, I just shot them all. I didn't know there could be a conversation
This
between
time
them.
around, I shot the first 2 and I kicked the last one in the face.
Yeah, this time I tried to shoot one in the toe. He immediately died. I'm like, you bitch.
Yeah.
But the first time, I just blew them all away and kept running. And from that point to the very end of the game, I was fucking like, holy shit.
You were on it.
Flashlights coming behind me. I'm carrying Ellie, and I was like, oh
That's
fuck.
a good.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I need another one.
Another what?
Last of Us.
Oh, another Last of Us.
Open world. That's what Robert wants.
An open world Last of Us.
I would do that.
You know what they should? You know what would have been at the top of our list if they'd announced it was a sequel to Red Dead Redemption.
That would have been on
Ugh.
my list.
It still wouldn't have been on my list.
It's so good. Well,
We gotta end here soon.
Are you? Did we decide what game he's playing next?
I didn't say both of you could.
Did we decide
So-
what game he's playing next?
Robert doesn't play a lot of video games.
He's a busy man.
I'm the only one here with children.
Yep.
We'll put that.
Yeah.
Although I've beaten Uncharted and left
Yeah.
behind.
No,
last.
you played a lot now. So they're coming out with a remaster of both Skyrim and Bioshock, both of which I think are perfect games.
I had already said that I was going to play.
Robert said, I'm going to play Skyrim.
Yes.
He's going to play Skyrim, And I said, that's awesome. Great game. And then Bioshock was announced, a trilogy remastered. And I said, oh, dog, you got to play that too. And now he said, I get to pick.
I'm very
He's only-
jumpy at
he's
this
on-
point in my life.
He's only going to play one. I'm like, you fucker.
Jumpy like.
I don't like playing scary games.
No.
I'm
Bioshock's
a-
not scary.
I'm afraid of the clickers. Yeah, so when you're in the dentist office and the
Oh,
lights
right.
flash and there's a guy right behind you all of a sudden.
No, when the mannequins are standing still, like in the art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
in Fort Frolic.
Yeah.
That shit scares me.
Yeah, that was the creepiest part.
It's worth that. That's a top tier title for me is Bioshock.
Favorite game of all time.
It's so good.
Well, second.
Really?
It's
Bioshock
so good.
one?
What's your first?
Vandal Hearts. You wouldn't know it.
Dumb. Well, we got to finish up. We're at an hour and over that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wait to see whether or not Bioshock is not even being made by.
2K?
Remastered by two. It's some other.
It's the same. I mean, it's another company that's done remasters before.
I'm gonna hold judgment till a review comes out for him.
I'll still play it.
Yeah, trophies. I know.
So if you've lasted this long through our ramblings of this episode that was supposed to be just Comic-Con, but we ran out of shit to talk about, I think I am going to do a couple giveaways. As far as Comic-Con's concerned, I do get a lot of stuff, so I'm thinking maybe some Walking Dead stuff. I saw these really cool Lucille mystery box keychains from Skybound. So I'm going to buy an extra couple, and if you listen on here, I will give them away, but you have to follow on Twitter and tell me you just follow and tag me and just say, hey, I want the Comic-Con exclusives from the podcast, and I will save your name and I'll pick somebody at random. So make sure you follow on at Sly Comics on Twitter. Subscribe on iTunes to 9 to 5 Nerds, and please write us a good review. It does help out a lot. Brian's already playing Pokemon Go again. But that's it for this time.
There's a Charmander right next to us.
This will come out sometime the week before Comic-Con. I don't know if we're going to do an episode next Sunday because I don't know if I'll have enough time to edit before Comic-Con. So worst case scenario, we're going to do another one during Comic-Con because I'm staying at the Marriott. Marriott has a balcony, so we can do it outside. So we may do one there, so that'll be it for the next probably week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So this is episode 13?
13, yeah.
13. So that's the episode 13 of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Adios.
and Brian Pasafume.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.